I'm not no thug. I just came from that BS trying to fit in with the wrong people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no gangster. I'm not.
Now, you feel like you were doing it for attention? Trying to get...
absolutely. Because I came up in a broken home and I couldn't get the attention I deserved or wanted or enough of what I thought I deserved, right? And I just went and seeked in all kinds of wrong places and the wrong people.
You've been through a lot of hell along the way. Let's open up and talk about Aaron Carter. Yo, it's your boy. It's Phil Wham Bam Benamino. It's another Wham Bam Wednesday, baby. You know the show about ordinary people who've done extraordinary things, and today is no different. But before we get started, as always, please subscribe down below. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the alert button, get all the hit the little bell, hit that little bell so you get all the alerts, so you get all of our great content, so that you understand that, you know what, there's people out in the world just like you that might be going through something that can help you overcome it. Today is a great example of somebody like that. You talk about adversity. You talk about having some mental health, some mental anguish that you don't know how to deal with it. Well, let me ask you something. Have you ever been shot at before? Have you ever been in a gang? Have you ever been to prison? Have you ever had a child and you raised somebody else's child as yours just out of pure love? Have you been in the music industry producing songs that people are just trying to steal from you? Are you just, you got this battle, this demon inside of you, an addiction that you don't know if you can overcome, but you do? That person is in the house today. We have Miguel Santiago Garcia, is his real name, from Puerto Rico. You don't know him yet. You might know him as Checkthestar, but you will know him as Checkthestar after today. Check, what's up, baby? Good to see you today.
Mr. Wham Bam himself. What's up, man? Thank you for having me.
Man, it's so cool. I'm so pumped about this episode. I'm not gonna lie, man. You've been through so much adversity, and you know what? We got to get into it. First of all, let's talk about the music. Rapper, songwriter, producer. From Puerto Rico. How'd you get here, and how'd you get into music, man?
Well, my family's always been into music. My family's always owned nightclubs. Since I was a kid, we had the record store. We had the. It's always been in my blood.
Isn't that so funny? We talk about record stores. There was literally records back in the day.
Store, these
kids today, some of these kids, they don't know what a record is. What is that?
Not for real, but that's how it was. Mom she had the record store, she had the nail salon, she had the nightclub. My dad was the DJ. Yeah, I guess she had.
That was
stuff.
a DJ?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah.
My dad was a DJ. So, I started out listening to music, and honestly, I remember as a young kid, scratching the board in the mixing booth.
Yeah.
And yes, I was in the club when I shouldn't have been. It wasn't just on practice. And, man, I just remember, wanting to be in that scene and hearing that bass and that rhythm through the walls. I used to stick because it was 2 stories. I used to stick literally my head to the ground like this.
Yeah.
Just so I could hear the bass and I fall asleep like that. Just to the music.
Now, is this in Puerto Rico?
Yes,
this here?
Absolutely.
Okay, so how'd you get here then? Well, first of all, in Puerto Rico, is the music Spanish? Or
Yeah, but at that time, it was very we had the European sound there.
Okay.
It's 1980s, 1990s. So growing up in that era, it's all house, EDM. It's what's popular in Europe. It's not what's popular in the United States. So we're not hearing the hip hop or as much reggaeton as that came after.
Okay.
Right. But yes, I grew up on Spanish music as well, but mostly on house and EDM, that kind of music. We're talking about Pump Up the Jam and their remix and another one, but stuff like that. And Michael Jackson, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
That's cool.
And just hearing things like that being remade in a European way. That's what we were listening to.
I still feel music back then was so much different, so much better in my mind. It just was. And I know today's day, there's so much access. People can create music just on their phones right now. It's wild, right?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Anybody now can be a rapper or whatever they want to call themselves. They just I call them recorders.
Yeah,
that's all they do.
Yep.
But yeah, it's so easy now. Back then, it was so hard. It was a struggle. You had to go post a poster on the wall or hand out your CDs and sit there on the block and do it hard work.
Did you do all that?
I have.
Yeah.
I feel now at digital era, you gotta stay away from that because there's not that many people that'll receive it well in person. it sucks, honestly.
Dude, I tell you what, the music industry is so hard. I actually went to experience it with my daughter. So my daughter was, she was really into music. She was a singer, songwriter, and pop artist back in the day. And she graduated high school, and she sat me down and said, "Dad, you know what? I don't want to go to college." And she's like, "I want to pursue my music career." And I was like, "Okay, who am I to tell you what you can and can't do? I'm going to obviously support my kid no matter what." But I'll tell you what, man, we learned a lot of hard, valuable lessons. And if people out there, you viewers, wondering why people get shot at and stuff, let me tell you, that shit's real, okay? Her first song that, we created, she didn't have any of the rights to it. We didn't learn about that. All that paperwork, all those things. Tell us a little about that. Did you ever go through any of those issues and problems and certain things?
Me?
Yeah.
I didn't go through. I wasn't a victim of it.
That's good.
In that sense, because I'm honestly more knowledgeable and have people around me that have taught me since I was a child how to secure my copyrights and how to own my own music. So no one can go around me and own my music. That's just what I do. I make sure that everything's locked down. So even if I hear a little jingle of what might be something I have created, I'm going to make sure I lock it down.
Yeah. So all the young artists out there, you got to know copyright's a big deal.
Yeah.
And you should certainly do that. People start creating things and stealing things and putting other things out there, and it gets to become a mess.
Mm-hmm.
Talk a little about how you got to the U.S., man. So,
So I came here. My mom, it's kind of unfortunate. Growing up in Puerto Rico in the 1980s, during the 90s, it was way worse than it is now in my eyes. And eventually my mom said, "I've had enough. I can't be here anymore. Like, I'm going to move. You guys deserve more."
So mom did that?
Yeah, my mom.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome.
At that time, my mom was not with my father anymore. I have a baby sister that's of another father. And let's just say, man, like, it was time to go. She was born and it was time to go. And she brought us here so that I didn't know no English, bro. It was just a fresh start.
So you learned all this while you were here?
I used to talk like the English, how you say very improper. Yeah. And I no, and I'm not making fun of nothing.
Wow.
That's my accent.
Right. It's amazing. You would never know it today.
Yeah, but I had to let go of it because a lot of people in America will look at that like it's weak.
Right. Like
that. Not being able to speak that proper verbiage or having a lisp or whatever it may be. Like, people look at it as a weakness. They don't understand this is where you know what I mean?
Right.
They think it comes out of your mouth.
Gotcha.
Some people can't even speak, but they got all the sense.
Talking about mouth, I got to state the obvious here. I'm looking at your mouth, and I'm sitting there. You got diamonds in your mouth, man?
Yeah, man.
You do?
Shout out Johnny Dang, man. Shout out Johnny Dang.
Really? Tell us about how did you get diamonds? Are they real? First of all, are they real?
Yeah, shout out Johnny Dang. Everything about him is official, yeah.
How do you get diamonds in your mouth, man?
All right, so I was walking around Champs trade shows with the homies at MBM. We stand for mental health. That's the group I come here to visit every month. And we're just walking around as a big peer group. We got Shawnee in the big mohawk, you know what I'm saying, all colorful, walking down in the middle. And
that's awesome.
We just, having a good time. And all of a sudden, one of the homies, he comes up, he's like, "Hey, bro, you see Johnny's over there, man, let's go." I said, and what's funny is earlier that day, I had talked to him about how I wanted to go get my teeth done with Johnny, that I was talking to one of my homies with him on the phone, on Instagram, on the video call thing. Uh-huh. And I wanted to go make a payment so that I could try to get in there and fix my teeth or see what he could do. He was being cool, but not receiving of it because obviously at the time I didn't have the money. This was like 3 months ago, but I was telling him, bro, I've talked to him, I was just around him, and I see him again. And my boy's like, go talk to him. Yeah. I'm not standing here for nothing, and I'm just like,
God put you there, baby.
Yeah. Closed mouth don't get fed either. The opportunity, so many opportunities come and you just got to acknowledge them.
Dude, say that again, because that's such a great statement. Closed mouths
don't get fed.
Don't get fed. Remember that, viewers. That's deep right there, baby.
It's fact, and it hurts. It'll hurt your chest. That's that devil trying to get you to block your blessing. And people don't understand that. They'll look at you like they'll crawl at you. You know what I'm saying? And it'll make you not want to do something. But you just got to take that initiative and just go. Whatever it may be that's blocking you, just block that out.
Right.
And that's what I did. I really was nervous. I was like, I can't go out to Johnny right now. But I was like, you know what? Let's go. So I walked up, and my homie Stacks, he's right in front of Johnny. Yeah. I'm like, dang, move, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let me get in here, And
right.
So he knew what the play was. So he moved out the way, and I slid in. I said, Johnny. He's talking to the Hidden Hills team.
Oh,
Shout
yeah?
out, yeah, shout out Hidden Hills. So,
Okay.
he was talking to the Hidden Hills team, and he's like, he went to tell me, hold on a second. He went to, but he looked at me, it took another glance at me, and he just started smiling. And I was like, Johnny, you can't leave me out here like this. You can't leave me out here like this. I started cheesing up at him, but I had the crookedest smile, insert thumbnail.
Really?
But
We'll
no,
flip that baby up there on the screen.
but no, seriously, my teeth are crooked and underneath the grill.
Yeah.
And he was just like, we're going to fix that.
Yeah.
Hit me up, get my number. So I get his number, exchange information, and I walk upstairs with the team. Now, I'm not thinking this is about to happen. I'm thinking I'm going to have to go right to Houston and start the whole process there. No, this man said, come downstairs right now. Get molded. This is within 30 minutes.
Really?
I'm
Molded
like,
you, got
he
you
molded
ready.
me there at the Hidden Hills booth, got me right. They had the whole promo. I mean, we called to attention the whole champs, I feel like, in that moment.
Yeah.
And man, it was so surreal. I couldn't believe it. You know, I'm acting goofy. I'm like, yeah, Johnny said I'm gonna smile like this. But, you know, like my friends ain't gonna make fun of me. And that's what's, you know, but that's just me being goofy, you know. But
how's it feel, man? Does it feel weird though? It's a grill, right? It's not real teeth.
yeah, it's not real
So
teeth.
what does it feel like having it in? Is it pretty natural now? You eat with it? You gotta pull it out?
I
What?
pull them out. But I had grills before that. They just weren't made well.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at that thumbnail that I said, insert thumbnail,
Uh-huh.
just in case you drop it again.
We're gonna drop it. We're gonna drop
you
it.
know, but seriously, it was crooked. It looked like I had braces with diamonds.
Yeah.
It was wild. And he fixed it like this. I have a straight smile now, and everyone was like, damn, that's really nice.
So, you know what? Talk about that for a second. Did it bother you? Did you have low self-esteem
Oh,
because
yeah.
of it?
Oh, yeah.
So is that something you really
It's
focus
something I
on?
dealt with on the internet a lot. It's one of the major things that they made fun of. They'd be
Oh,
like,
really?
oh, sure, your teeth look like they're throwing out gang signs. And right now they're probably saying in the comments they still do. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not all the way fixed. It's just a temporary fix.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's
but
right.
again, who got $30,000 to drop to get them fixed right now? If you do, go shop with Johnny Dang. You know, but seriously, like, that's what it was. And a lot of people are gonna say, why don't you just go get your teeth done and go find someone to get your veneers and all that? Well, you know what? This is what I wanted to do. This is what I did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I was blessed to even meet Johnny, and Johnny take the time to even build the relationship with me. So it was deeper than just the diamonds.
Yeah, that's
You
super
know?
cool. Super cool. So, you know, you talk a little bit about, you know, gangs and stuff and being out there. You back in the day were in a gang, weren't you?
I was around it a lot.
So tell us a little bit about that, because if I'm not mistaken, you took a bullet to the head, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you're one of God's angels. Let's just be honest. Let's just call it what it is.
Amen.
You know, because I truly believe when somebody goes through something like that and you come away, you get to walk, you get to wake up, you get to open your eyes and see another day. You're made for something. You got big things ahead of you
I claim
here in
that
this
in the name of
world.
Jesus. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, for real. And I know it's a little. Tell you, I could tell it's breaking you up a little bit. Brings you back to probably a bad place. But the reality is, man, you're special, bro. You're special. Tell us a little bit about that night. What happened?
I was leaving these apartments, and this car came up behind me. It was an all-black car, and they pulled up next to us. And I'm not thinking nothing of it, because I didn't think it was that big of a deal. Like, I didn't do anything wrong to nobody. So I was just like, it's just when you're associated around people, doesn't matter what you do, you're guilty by default. And I'm a nerd, bro.
So
Like,
many people judge people based on what they're around.
That's real. Like, I'm just gonna be honest. Like,
You're a nerd. What do
I'm
you
a
mean?
nerd.
Explain
I'm a
that to
nerd.
me.
I like video games. I like playing on the internet and like scrolling and being goofy and having fun. Like, I'm not no thug. I just came from that BS trying to fit in with the wrong people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no gangster. I'm not.
Now, you feel like you were doing it for attention, trying
Yeah,
to get.
absolutely. Because I came up in a broken home and I couldn't get the attention I deserved or wanted, or enough of what I thought I deserved, right? And I just went and seeked in all kinds of wrong places and the wrong people. And, you know, I tried to fit in, especially when people need to use you for their gain. Of course, they're going to let you come in and do whatever you have to do just so it sucks.
Yeah.
Anyways, I got wrapped up with the wrong people. And of course, in high school, being around the wrong people, you're going to be looked at very easily by your peers and judged. And that's what happened. I was around trying to be cool by being feared.
You know, you talk about the way you look and the image and stuff. Noticing, obviously, you have all these tattoos all over your face, everything. Were you like that in school too? Were you young? Did you start tattoos early?
Yeah, well, I got my first tattoo when I was 18, like on my senior year. But honestly, like this wasn't me at all.
Yeah.
Like I had this short buzz cut, I had a little mohawk. Like I never thought I would commit to all this, but it's a stamp of who I am. It's every single tattoo is a struggle, tribulation, or trial that I've overcame, went through, and now I just wear it on me as a proud symbol of who I am today. And every time that it comes and it's something that I feel like I suffered through that pain, then I'll just apply the pain to myself for real, so that I don't feel it from the other person or other thing or whatever. And I wear it as a stamp of joy.
So how old were you when this incident happened, when you got shot at?
18 years old.
18 years old. Now, were you involved in drugs or anything like that?
Yeah.
So was that, you feel like that was probably one of the reasons? Was it a robbery? Was it a get back?
It was messing with the wrong dude's girl.
Oh.
Honestly.
Oh. So you were hanging out with her girl?
Yeah, I met a girl through the wrong people again. That's what I'm saying. Like being around them, that gang affiliation or whatever, there's people that want to claim that rank or that status by the wrong way. So long story short, they were willing to sacrifice their entire future over something that I knew nothing about. Like, I didn't know this girl was with some guy. She was telling me she was single.
Wow.
I'm 18 years old. I'm a kid. I'm not thinking that this girl is going to be with some guy that's going to take my life. If,
yeah.
And that's real. That was when I was 18. Now we're talking, I'm 35 years old.
Right.
Think about how people crazy are now. It just keeps adulting and getting crazier, adulting or getting more childish.
Man, think about that though. How do these kids today protect themselves? You see people, people are going to schools now, shooting
nowadays,
things up schools, everything else, right? I mean, how do kids protect themselves? How do parents that have children protect their kids?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, you got two kids now, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like with the cyberbullying stuff, like how do you protect your kids? Like I really want to speak on that, and I know I probably just jumped the gun, but you just said something that really hit. How do you protect your kids in a digital era where kids are literally creating discords and trying to attack your children indirectly, where they can't defend themselves? I remember when I was a kid, they'd be like, oh, 4 eyes, or, I used to wear glasses, or your eyes are too close together. Yeah, they are. So what? God made me this way. Like, you got a big nose. Okay, I'm Puerto Rican. Like, well, I have a little bit Italian in me. Like, yeah, we got a little, it's okay. Get over it, but it's like, why is it that we have to do this and not, as a parent, you gotta be knowledgeable of this because we are all going through it. Whether we go through it as parents and we can handle it, our kids cannot. They really cannot.
I got a theory here, and this is something that, it's real deep because the reality is parents today, we don't know what our kids are doing. This is a reality. I remember when I was growing up, I was younger, and when people called my house, looking for me, they had to go to a rotary phone and they had to dial the phone. I bet your
parents were really involved with you.
Yeah, well, and that's what I'm saying. They had to call home, and my father and my mother would pick up the phone and say, you want to speak to Phil? Who's calling? And what do you want? And what do you need? And what are you doing? So they knew who was on the other side of the phone, and sometimes I didn't get the other side of the phone. But now today, these kids got phones with them. They got full access. You don't know who they're calling. You don't know who they're talking to. You don't know what they're saying.
All kinds of
social media. Everybody's just fighting for that fighting for that freaking little heart. They just want a little controversy and stuff here and there just to create some buzz because they want to go viral and they think everybody's going to be a millionaire just by going viral one time. It doesn't work like that, man.
Right. Agreed.
And I don't believe that parents are building the confidence in the person, in their own child, and having these long conversations with these kids.
Communication.
Yeah.
That comes with that
There's
communication.
no conversations anymore. Dude, go to a restaurant and look around. Look at families sitting there with kids. What are they doing? They're on their phones. They're playing video games. They're checking. You know what I'm saying? They're, Snapchat and go to TikTok. Yeah, taking some selfies. Doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like they're not having real conversations anymore. And not having real conversations, how can you build confidence? How
it's
can
going
you
to
build
get to the point
information?
that people like this are going to be doing interviews and people are just going to be on their phone the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah. Disrespectful.
Can you imagine? Like, we're eating.
Right.
Like you just said, we're out.
Yeah.
Like, how disrespectful would it be to just me be holding my phone while you're talking to me?
Check. Not only is it disrespectful, but think about this. You're spending all the time and hours
That's your
focusing
life
on people that
your
you
neck
don't
like
even
this.
know.
Okay.
But you're focused on people you don't know.
Trying to live through them.
Yes.
Like, come on, bro.
And it's like the people that you know, somebody that's close to you that has some value to them, they're trying to share value with you, you don't want to pay attention to.
I'm telling you.
It's crazy. You know what? Talk a little bit about you've been in prison. You know what that's like. Some kids out there, they're trying to be hustle. They're trying to do certain things, but they don't realize you do one stupid thing.
It's over with.
It changes your life, man.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always change it for the good. But what was that like, man, going to prison and how did that come effect?
I was facing, never said this no more. I was punished. I did a lot of time, but I was facing like almost 50 years in prison one time.
50 years?
Yeah.
What'd you do, bro?
I didn't do nothing.
Right. What were you claimed to have done?
Allegedly.
Yes.
They just try to accuse me of all kinds of like vandalism and burglaries and all kinds of weird stuff. You know what? That's BS. I was around the wrong people again, and they ended up doing what they did, and they tried to put me down for that. I took that thing to trial all the way to the door, and I remember I sat in prison. They tried to blame me for things I wasn't even around for. I was just around people that were around that did it. Like, and I mean that, and I'm not trying to cover up because there is times that I was around, but listen to what I'm saying. I got blamed for things that I wasn't even around for just for being around the wrong people. That's how easy it is to get tricked out by somebody. These kids out here trying to fit in with the wrong people, not knowing that it's a reflection of what those people are doing comes back to them. You could be sitting at home for a week. You don't talk to those people anymore, but you were associated with them at that point. It'll come back to you.
Right. That's
how crazy this is. But man, I was facing a long time for things that I didn't even do. Right. Car robberies and all kinds of things. Bro, I'm sitting there. I got roped up inside of my homeboy's house, and because I was staying at my homeboy's house, I must be guilty. And it was bad, bro. I'm telling you, I probably did 2 of those crimes that they alleged I did. And that's just me being honest. I don't care. I did my time. Right. And it's like, bro, the state don't care about you. The system does not care about you.
They want to make a point. They need somebody. They need somebody to blame.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's their job. Right. But it's our job to be safe and bring a positive influence into the world as well. So I wasn't doing it right, and where does that come from? My communication with it's all rooted from somewhere. It was my communication with my family, my poor establishment and foundation with my family, and that acceptance feeling and that love feeling. It's gone away through time. Like, it just, you don't think about it, but it really does happen as it goes along, and parents need to just create that relationship and bond with their children no matter what, because if you don't know what your child's going through, you can't get mad at them. That's how I see it. Right. That's on you.
You talk about family, and family's real strong. Obviously, I come from very strong family values, being Italian, raised traditionally Italian back in the day. Where your father gave you a smack in the ass.
My baby mom was Italian, so I know.
Yeah, so you understand all that stuff. Mama threw the wooden spoon at you, if you had a problem and so forth. But, talk a little bit about your family, man. I know you were actually on Judge Mathis. Right? Yeah. You're on an episode of Judge Mathis. Your ex-girlfriend took you to court over your children. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about how did that come about?
We got
to put that clip up, man. We got to show that clip real quick, too. Just got to flick that up there for him.
Okay. So he would be posting stuff about, he said he was on tour, but it looked like he was just partying, and it was just not what...
And he didn't have any money.
Yes, exactly.
Defendant Miguel Garcia Santiago dated the plaintiff, and he claims after she cheated and got pregnant by another man, he stayed with her and raised the child as his own.
That's funny. So, I was on the road for a while, and I wasn't there for my baby mama when I should have been. Obviously, when you're on the road, after a certain amount of time, you start having fun, or it starts looking like you're having too much more fun than you actually are having, especially on what you're posting, because you have to keep that impression up no matter what.
You're putting a highlight reel up. Nobody knows what's really going on the back end, right?
Exactly.
You're putting a highlight reel.
Exactly.
I got you.
And people like her weren't understanding what I was doing. I was creating that image and that hype, and she's just like, oh, so that's what you're doing every night? And I'm like, no, that's what I'm doing sometimes, but that's not what it is. And she'll see girls shaking their butts and, hanging out and doing all this stuff. It's like, yo, I'm creating content. You don't understand it yet. It's a little bit above what you understand. You take care of the kids, so you're a homebody. I get it. But I'm trying to show these people entertainment. And she's very introverted. She's very, very about herself. not about herself egotistical, but about her family and being family. She's Italian,
Right.
Italian as they come.
Oh.
So, man, she cooks good too. But I'm just saying, like, bro, like,
Could you make a good gravy?
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And the meatballs will go with it?
Pause. No diddy. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just crazy, bro. Like, she's just an amazing person. She taught me a lot of things, bro. And honestly, like, I'm just trying to get past that BS or that level of BS that I was attached to.
Yeah.
It's been too much going on in this internet, and I can't emphasize this enough. No matter what you're going through, there is somebody out there that can help you. There is somebody that you can talk to. And if you can't feel like you can talk to somebody, again, take that extra step to just take that move and do it, because it's you that's blocking it at the end of the day, if that's how you feel. I just been through so many things, dude, that I've learned. Forget being shot in the head, because I was here, for, like you said, for a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Forget being to prison, because
Right.
even Jesus was locked up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm
That's
no
right.
better man than Jesus, so who am I not to suffer in the Lord's name?
Amen. Amen to that. I feel you 100%. And you know what? It goes even deeper, because you've done some amazing things too that you don't probably give yourself credit for. And one of the things that stuck out with me, being that I'm actually a single dad, I raised my daughter when she was 3 months old. I raised her by myself until I actually found my wife at the time, when she was about 6 years old. But that's a tough thing to do. I always thought that was a tough thing to do. And then I kind of ran into your story where you actually took on a child that wasn't even yours. Tell us a little bit about that, man. What happened? Because you're in prison. You're in love with a woman who cheats on you and ends up getting pregnant by another man.
Yeah. Well, that was my chance to make a decision as a man. Do I love this woman, or do I just want to play around? Like, this is someone I had already decided that I loved. I already felt that. We both saved each other in many different ways. And it was like, damn. You get to a point, it's like, that was hard, because she ended up telling me she was pregnant, and I didn't know that it wasn't mine.
Mm.
I didn't readily know that the possibility. I knew she cheated on me. I just didn't know that the possibility or the timing was there. It wasn't a thing to me. Now, here's the crazy thing. Like, when my baby was born, like, I was in prison. When Lil Vinny was born, I was in prison, bro. And
That's what you named him, Vinny?
yeah,
That's cool.
his name is
That's
Vincent.
cool.
His name is
So,
Vincent.
I got to tell you a quick story because it pops up, man. I'm actually going to be in a movie in February. It's Blood Money 2. Shout out to Blood Money 2 staff. But I'm actually Vinny the Viper.
That's cool.
That's my
Vinny the
character.
Viper.
Vinny the Viper. That's correct.
I like that. Okay.
So,
But yeah, so basically, like, she told me, and I was just like, how am I gonna, this is gonna be hard. How am I gonna make this decision? And also, how is he gonna feel when he finds out? And is he gonna have remorse for me? Is he gonna hate me? Like, that's something everyone has to think about when that comes, if you want to man up and you want to say you love your wife or whatever. Like, some people would say that's weak of me because I chose to do that. It's not like I walked into a situation and the woman, think about this, it's not like a woman already had the child, or I came into the relationship with the woman already pregnant. It's someone I had been with for almost 2 years, and she got pregnant cheating on me. Most men
while
would
you
be
were in
like,
jail.
no. Let's add to that. I went to jail while she was pregnant within the first month of being pregnant. I thought she was expecting with my...
That's going to be hard, man. Real hard. Feeling like you're so betrayed, and you're at a vulnerable place in your life. I mean, you're in prison. I mean, what did that do to you mentally? Like, were there days you just want to, like...
Bro, the only thing that held me steady was my Bible. That's when I found God.
Yeah.
I just read it, front page to the back, and it's the only thing that gave me sanity, and I knew that I was making the right decision at that time. When I found out, I was like, still like, God, please let this be my son. Let this come out. Because I was like, fingers crossed, when the DNA test comes back, it'll be mine. That baby's going to be mine. And we did a swab test in prison. She came in with the swab things. You know, they let us do the little swab and whatever, sent it out. The other guy did it too. But the other guy didn't want anything to do with Vinny. Like, he
Crazy.
had, messed up thing is, he had a whole family, and he had another girl pregnant at the same time. It's some Maury stuff. I never opened up this much about this.
Right.
This man had a whole nother baby. So Vinny has a half brother.
Right.
He has a half brother that he hasn't even met yet.
How old's Vinny today?
Right now he's 9.
9 years old.
Yeah.
Well, Dad has nothing to do with him? Really?
No.
Just like
And
that.
last time I seen that dude, I obviously tried to fight him, and he ended up running. I haven't seen him since then. From all I know, he's locked up. From all I really know, if you look it up, he's in and out of prison.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, not a very good character. So, again, God works in funny ways.
Right?
But you took on a role, and, I say this all the time. That's what, one of the people said, what made you do it? I mean, fighting for my child, I was a guy from New York, came down south, actually was in Georgia at the time, met a Hooter girl, unfortunately. Fortunately and unfortunately, right?
Nah, those
type
are
of
fun.
thing, right? Had a good time. I was young. She got pregnant, and I wasn't sure if it was mine either.
Right.
And I'll tell you what, 9 months, you talk about going through hell through 9 months, wondering if it's yours. But they didn't have the testing back then. So I wasn't going to know until after the baby was born.
Right. That's how it was with me.
Yeah. So then, you don't know what that baby's going to come out and what it's going to look like and everything else. And then, of course, after it came out and did all the testing, I was on the other flip of it, and it was mine. But I always said to myself, at that point in time, it was a money thing, it seemed like, from her. She was like, she wanted the money, child support, give me money, give me this. I remember my parents coming down to see the baby, and she's like, give me a few $100 and I'll let you see her for 10 minutes, type of thing. And you're just like, really? Type of thing. Like, this is a child. But the one thing that always drove me was, I always said, a kid doesn't come out and get to choose their parents.
Yeah.
My daughter didn't come out and say, I want him as my father, and, have that choice. She got stuck with me. It was like, I am dad. So I got to be the best person I can possibly be. And that's what drove me. And that's what drove me to, the little bit and the level of success that I've been fortunate to have, and God has blessed me with.
That's how I feel. I feel that, bro, because it's just making that adult decision, like that paying it forward for real, and it's accepting of who you are as a man. That to me is gangster.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, dude, you touch my heart when you take on 2 children. When I ask you, you're like, I have 2 boys. I got 2 kids, and they're both mine,
Exactly.
and you treat it like that, and that's the way you. And you know what? That is special, man. That's purpose. You know what I'm saying? That's all anybody really wants in life, is to have a purpose of being here to make a difference. And you've done that, regardless of what you do in the future, which I know you're going to do great things ahead. You got big things ahead, but you already have purpose, man. And, some people, and that's why I get so beside myself with older people that are alone and stuff. I feel so bad, because it's like, all we want as we get older too is to still have purpose. Will your kids want you? Will the kids need you? Will they listen to you? Type of thing. And, you wonder when that day comes when you don't matter to nobody.
You're saying it.
And that's when, unfortunately, you feel like you got to die because there's nothing left for you. So that's why I'm always like striving, boom, find a purpose, find a reason, to keep living, because it just makes your soul a lot better, You've been through a lot of hell along the way. Let's open up and talk about Aaron Carter. I know he was your brother. I know he was a friend of yours, and I know may rest in peace today. Losing him. I mean, you were his dog, man. Together you guys made some great music. You were the last person with him, and I know how much you loved him and how much he meant to you. And a lot of people didn't give you a lot of recognition over that. A lot of people blamed you. Some people pointed fingers at you, because they're looking for a reason. But, talk a little bit about that, man.
Look look at me. I'm the tatted guy. I'm the ugly duckling. Who in their right mind wants someone like me to be associated with a national pop star or international pop star or worldwide global legend? Who would want that? And that's real. That's what I was dealing with while he was alive. Me and him had the most solid friendship. He found me on the internet, bro.
Really?
He found me on the internet on the lives. I was talking to my boy Joker Gang. He's a funny guy, man. He's awesome. He has the tattoos all over his face and stuff.
Joker Gang.
Yeah, he's the one that put me onto the Judge Mathis show, man. So shout out Joker Gang, man. You always been there for me, gang. But Joker, you know who GTA Joker is?
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah, that's
through you though.
Yeah. Did you look him up?
Yeah, I'll check him out.
Bro, he's wild, bro. Like, but that's my dog. Like, they took his likeness on GTA 6 and stuff. But man, he's put me onto so many things. And he was like, one day I was sitting at the house, and this is real story. We were watching Netflix, and he's like, I'm waiting for this Britney Spears, free Britney Spears, da 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 da. I'm like, hey, you're a wacko, bro. You're a funny ass dude, man. And I was like, you know who my favorite artist is? And he was like, who? I was like, Aaron Carter. And he was
For
like,
real?
No, for real. Like, I started making music because of Aaron Carter. I remember listening, I want candy.
Bam,
you know what I'm saying?
that's right, yeah.
And like, I used to try to dress like him. Like, I'm looking at a 9-year-old. He was my age, bro. So I'm looking when I'm 9 in the United States. I came here when I was 9 years old. When I come here, I'm his age, but he's already got it all.
Right.
He's messing with all the girls that we would want to be with. My age group would want to, like the Hillary Duffs and the Lindsay Lohans and the Amanda Bynes and all this. And I'm like, I wish I was that guy. Like, it just happens. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of people like Justin Bieber fans and so on and so forth that progressively continue to, as the ages go on, the industry recreates these characters.
Right.
And these characters end up idols, and they become idolized, and people want to be just like them or live through them. And that's what we were talking about earlier, is that's what happens. The masses aren't knowledgeable enough to understand idolization. Follow God first, and they don't understand that. They end up lost in that warp of, I want to
Sooner or later, they're going to figure it out, though. Because,
man, I hope so.
We all go through that trial that bring us to God.
Yeah. Some close the door, and I pray for those people. But really, Aaron was my guide since I was a kid. I say it again so people understand it. Like, it was something to look forward to. It's, if this 9-year-old, 10-year-old kid is going at 11, like, he won't stop. He's the Backstreet Boys' little bro. I get it. He's a little whatever. I don't mess with that dude, the other Carter. I'm not saying his name, so I'm gonna keep it Backstreet Boys. You feel me, little brother?
Yeah, Backstreet Boys. Baby.
Yeah, the Backstreet Boys.
They're still hot. They're still hot.
Well, they hot together.
You're
but
right.
I don't mess with one of the dudes. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Anyways, the point is,
a little bad blood there. A little bad blood.
Yeah, and it's always gonna be that, because my brother Aaron, who reached out to me and said, I need my brother as his last moments, he was telling me, why would he call me? And he's always called me his brother. And you know what? He had 2 real friends, bro. 2 real people in his life that'll tell him. And that's the only people that I know that were his real friends. It was me and Brian Cassidy. And Brian Cassidy has been with him for, I think, over 12, 13 years. And, he's been ghostwriting for him. And that's who ended up being my ghostwriter now. So now I sit and go to camp with Brian, and we sit down and make music. Like, we go in a city called Winter Havens.
Nice.
In Florida.
Down in Florida, yeah. The right where it is.
Yeah, very nice city.
Outside of Orlando, out that way.
Yeah, correct.
Yep.
And, we work together now. But, bro, like, being with Aaron, bro, it just taught me so much of what not to do and what to do. I get a lot of blame for his passing because they say I enabled him. He's a grown man. He was on prescription medication. How can you enable a man that's on prescription medication? The only enabler here is the pharma. So I can't do anything about that.
And
I
that's
can't
horrible,
tell.
man. Farmers, they prescribe. First thing they want to do is give you a pain pill. You get something's wrong, something's hurt, here's a pain pill. Get you addicted.
And you got to understand, this is since a kid. You know what I mean? So it's like, I can't retrain the mind.
I go. I'm going to my hydrated water on that one because I ain't going there. I'm trying to biohack fucking life, man, so I could stick around a little bit longer. So shout out Gary Brecka, helping me out with that. Yeah,
that water looks good. I ain't gonna lie. But nah, seriously, it's just something people need to be aware of when it comes to the industry.
What
Yeah,
happened
you
to
could-
Aaron? Tell the viewer, because some people don't know, but what exactly happened? How
I
did they
could tell
find him?
you
How
a-
did he pass?
I could tell you a lot of things that happened to Aaron, but my main answer is we all failed him.
You failed him? You blame yourself?
I blame myself. I blame everybody around him. I blame the fans. I blame the peers. I blame because nobody was there for him for real.
Really?
I don't care if he was an a-hole. I don't care if he was a lover boy. I don't care what he was. That was my friend. And you know what? People switched up on him for anything they could except for very, very few people. That's why I went back and resulted. The only people that were really his friends is who I just named. Like, I can't say anything good about anybody else. I'll have respect for his baby mama just because she gave him seed, to be honest.
Right.
She loved him from what I seen. She took care of him. You know what I'm saying? Did everything she could financially to treat him even towards the end. Did they have their toxicity? That's their problem.
Yeah, I think everybody has that, man. But fame, it comes with another
And it
level.
comes with this light that makes you so exposed. And it makes you into, again, whatever the people want to make you. Like, bro, like, I got a relationship. That's why I'm scared to have relationships. I'm not even with my baby mama.
Yeah.
I'm scared of having a relationship.
I could tell you still love her, though, man. I could see it.
I
could
do
see it.
because that's always gonna be the love of my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
It's the first one that taught you how to love, probably.
but it's hard to commit to that at this point because I've gone through so much pain. I'm still there.
What are you afraid of?
Pain.
Yeah.
You know, I just being honest. Like, I've been hurt so much that I'd rather have that. You're my friend. You're my best friend.
How do
I'm
we
here
heal
for you.
that, bro?
I don't know.
How do we heal that? Let's talk about that for a second, because you know what? Like anything else, when you go through pain, you have a story and you learn something from it. You said yourself, all your tattoos remind you of something. I have some too. The same thing, pain. My father passed. Boom, this one here. We went through a divorce stuff. Boom, different things. That are markers in your life. But the one thing I will say is that your past doesn't define your future. You know what I'm saying? So just because you went through some pain in the past doesn't mean there's going to be more pain in the future. You clearly have a level of love for her. You took on her child under the acceptance that you knew what was going on, type of thing. You still say she cooks really well, and so forth. And I'm just saying, you know how to love. You can never be afraid of the what ifs. You've already been through so much, man. What more?
I don't want to know.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Think about it. Your mom, rest her peace. I know she passed away as well. I've been there too, where you had to go in there and say your last goodbye. And as they pulled him off that ventilator. It's a hard day, man. It's a hard thing. I see that image of my dad every single day, and I hate it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you see somebody take their last fucking breath and you can't help them, and it's somebody that you love. What worse could possibly happen? So don't be afraid of the pain. You know what I mean? Because with pain comes pleasure, afterwards. And, you certainly can love. There are people out there, and you seem like a real lovable person. So I don't want you to be afraid of taking that leap. Now, fame's a whole nother world. You got eyes on you. You got critics. You got people that love you. You got people that follow. You got people that just want to hate you. You know what I'm saying? Which is a horrible freaking thing. And we talk about mental health, and we talk about what it does to somebody mentally. That's the part. How do you re-trigger your mind? Your brain is the most strongest muscle in your body because it creates everything. How do you change your brain? You've been able to beat addiction, bro. You've been able to overcome your loss of your best friend. You were shot at. You know what I'm saying? And you could sit here and now you're speaking. You're a soul that's speaking on behalf of these things. You could do anything you freaking want, Check. You know what I'm saying? We ain't even talked about your music and how phenomenal it is. We're going to get to that. But I'm just saying, like, you could do whatever you fucking want, and you can do it well. So I don't want you to be afraid of that at all. I just had to say that, man. It's speaking to me. Thank you. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely, man. So, just want you to be aware of that.
Appreciate it.
Let's get into your music. Let's talk about where Check is, man, and the rapping and the music stuff now. And I know it's not just about rap with you. You can create all kinds of stuff. I heard you did a little rock and roll stuff or what?
Yeah, I do rock,
Yeah.
EDM. I got a DJ, DJ Be Nice. He came with me to Sway in the morning. He's kind of like my life advisor. Like, that boy won't leave my side. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's always helping me. Like, even if he's on tour or whatever, like, he's a DJ for real.
Yeah.
So it's like he's always on tour doing something or setting something up and breaking down. But I got the EDM and I got the hip hop and I got the rock and I got my reggaeton and I got a little bit of like ballad Spanish. I got really just anything that I feel is kind of appropriate to where I can express myself. Like, you're not gonna catch me doing a 80s style of song. You're not gonna hear that unless it has a sample of like some contemporary pop or something that's gonna bring it up a little bit of a notch, because I do a little bit of pop because of Aaron. Aaron taught me how to get into that world. That's how I got a little bit of that song. But really, I'm trying to stay away from the hip hop and go more into that demographic of rock, of pop, I call it hip hop.
I like it.
Because it has a little bit of rap, minuscule amount, and I don't want to be that guy
You want to create your own lane.
Yeah, I don't got nobody's bitch in my side, and I don't got this foreign whip that I just know. I rent a nice whip when I come into town if I have to. I don't, it's just that simple. I have a Toyota Corolla. I save my gas. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need to go get a big car, and like, that's for times that you need to go out. Like, people don't understand that. For example, your car is your tool of what? Transportation.
Right.
Why are you gonna go get this big SRT and just? So what? So those are people that have something to hide from me. Those are people that want to impress the wrong people. Like, I don't have to do that. I'd rather be ducked off in my Corolla with my blacked out tints. Nobody know I'm in that car at all.
But you know what? You've learned that. Let's face it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's one thing, and that's awesome that you're speaking on that because viewers need to know that. Like you said, you can drive a Hyundai, you can drive a BMW. They're both going to get you to the same place.
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
your tool.
So exactly. So the reason is, why do we do what we do? Back then, you've had some real levels of success. Obviously, you made some really good money, especially being with Aaron. You made some great music. Talk about that. Talk about what comes with making the money and how you lost it all.
I've got deals. I've got endorsements. I've got brands. I've got plethora of money and the what you nots. And then what happens? I didn't have money. I'm not rich. So what am I going to do? I'm going to enjoy it.
And spend it.
Right. Because, I don't glorify money, bro. If I was to sit here and hold on to every cent that I got, I'd be a rich man with no happiness.
Yeah.
Think about that. My riches don't come from my money. It comes from my wisdom that I gained through the knowledge and experience that I've had. I'm not going to sit here and tell you money is going to make you happy. Oh, you're broke. You don't have as much as me. No, you know what? I'm not as rich as somebody else in the internet. I'm not some big, famous, rich artist, but I have a certain level of fame, and you're not going to take that away from me. I know that I'm successful, like you said, in real world and in the digital world, or whatever y'all want to call it, this multimedia verse that people created. I'm successful in that in my world too. And it's just like, why are you going to sit here and put prize on money when you know that that's going to go away in a few minutes?
Right.
Knowing damn well I got to drink this water in a minute. And I'm getting thirsty about a second holding on to this thing.
Drink it, baby. Drink it.
But no, I'm being serious.
No, I hear you.
For metaphor, like, it's like people don't understand, like, yo, you're holding on to money when you could be experiencing and sharing memories and giving back forward to people that love you, that you love, that you can have fun with and enjoy those peaceful memories. Go out and have a vacation in Hawaii, or go out to, St. Petersburg or wherever, go to Germany and Berlin. And, you can do that. That's possible. You don't have to sit here and beat yourself up and be like, I can't do it. You can do it. You don't have to give up and put yourself in a box. You could do anything you want to do. And if you sit here and you think this is the only amount of money that you're ever going to get, I'm sorry, but that's not true.
No, money's just a tool, man. It's a tool, just like waking up in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like you have the
you use it.
You use it exactly. I always tell people that the hardest thing about anything that you're doing in life, no matter what your job is, whether it's a musician, whether it's a salesperson, whether it's you're a maid. The hardest thing is showing up. You just got to show up. If you show up, show out, do the best you possibly can, you're going to get rewarded somehow, some way. Whether it's monetary or whether it's learning, whether it's from the soul. You know what I'm saying? You're growing from it and stuff. So, but a lot of young people that get get a bunch of money and get a little bit of fame. They get excited about it and stuff, and they're trying to keep up with the Joneses. You ever hear that phrase, right? Keep up. Did you ever go through that phase where you just kind of keep up with the Joneses because you have to keep on this
Let's
persona?
be real. I don't. Speaking on that, let's be real. Like, I didn't want to be hanging out, sipping lean, and doing all these dumb drugs that I was doing with these people. I ain't never done no hard drugs like cocaine, heroin, et cetera, et cetera. But I did sip lean. I was popping pills. I never free base like how them guys was doing or crushing them up, putting up their nose. But that gets to that level.
Right.
I seen it. People throw their whole life away over that, and they end up literally in a hole somewhere.
Not working.
Whatever hole you want to call that. Whether it's a life hole, a prison, a hole in the ground.
Why do you think they do that, man?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
wonder, why do
put
people
myself
want to alter? Why do people want to alter themselves that much? Are they that unhappy? And listen, let's talk about the music, because I know in music, it's a way of art, right? It's expression. Your expression. A lot of songs are written from actual events, things that people have gone through, pain that you've suffered, happiness that you've gone through, different things that you can create a song on. Hopefully you'll write one about Wham Bam one day, and stuff, but it'll be a positive one. It'll be a good one. But, realistically, that's what people are going through. Why do they want to alter themselves? And are there that much unhappiness out there?
I would say so. That's the sad thing. And there's no one
How
to
do we
blame but
fix
yourself.
that, man?
That's within yourself.
Yeah.
That's within yourself. And like how you asked me, how do you fix that pain? And I said, I don't know. It's because I don't have the answer for myself.
Yeah.
I don't know how to fix that pain.
I think you do,
have.
man. I think you do, because you're doing it already. You don't even realize it. I think surrounding yourself with different types of people, right? The people that have the same thoughts, the goals. I always said to myself, if you're the smartest guy in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You want to try to elevate yourself. You want to try to grow in different levels, and it's whether it's just being how you look, to what you speak, to what you learn, to what you do, to how you do things, how you treat other people. I think that's all something that everybody can learn on a daily basis. And you're doing it. You come down here. You're involved in a mental health group. Which says that you have a level that you want to upgrade yourself in. You want to learn from others, and you want to experience, just like you're doing today. You're sharing some hard-ass stories that I know takes you back to a dark place in your life, but you're sharing it for a reason, because you're letting other viewers and people out there. There's somebody out there right now, man, going through some of this shit right now that we're talking about. Somebody right now is going through a phase where their parents are getting sick, they're dying, and they have to go face that reality. Or they lost a good friend, or they're going through an addiction right now, or they're going through a bad relationship. And you know what? You're proof that you can get through it, and you can still succeed and do the things that you want to do in your life, because you are in control of yourself based on the choice.
It's crazy you're saying all that beautiful stuff, but there's someone right now thinking in the comments, waiting to drop a comment right now just to say something negative.
Sure.
That's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
Is somebody in the world is still so negative within themselves.
They're hurting, bro. They're not being negative. They're hurting. Let's call it what it is.
That they want to hurt, because hurt people hurt people, right?
That's right.
So it's like, you just want to hurt. And it's like, how do I fix that? That's what I want to do. And that's what's sick about me, is people don't understand. I'm trying to heal everybody else's pain, and I got pain.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's like, how can I help others without helping myself first? I get it. But I feel like when I help others, I am helping myself. Like how you said, you're doing it, and that's exactly what it is. So it's like, I guess that's how I heal my pain, is through healing other people's pain.
Right.
It helps me feel better about what I have done to cause other people pain, or how I've caused myself pain, or how I put myself in positions that have caused pain to my friends, family, people around me in that immediate moment.
Right.
Like, I've been through hell and back, walked on fire and sun and ice, and somehow my feet are still here, luckily, but.
You get any regrets, man, looking back now? Any great regrets in some of the things you did or went through?
That's a easy question. Everyone would say, yeah, I regret this one time. And then there's other people that would be like, tough guy, be like, no, I have no regrets. Regrets are for pussies. And, I don't got time for that. There's plenty of things in my life that I regret, that I could have done better, right? That's just common. Everybody looks at that. When I leave here, I'm going to go, dang, I should have answered that question like this. Tell me you haven't had that moment and been like, damn, I should have said that.
Of course. But you learn from it.
Right.
So to me, it's a learning phase.
Right. And that's why that word is so hard to like judge on and be like, damn, do I regret or don't regret? But you know what? I learned from it.
Right.
That's what I do. There's nothing that I want to say like I regret because it's such a hard word, but then I want to show the people that I do regret it because I have learned from it. You understand how that word could be so vicious?
Right.
And that's what people do in this digital era. I have to be conscious of even those words because people will flip that away. Oh, he has no regrets. He's that guy that doesn't care. Like I can sit here and say I don't regret everything because everything was meant and to happen the way that it did. I can say the most positive thing right now, and somebody will flip that around in the comments and be like, "Oh, see, he said he don't regret nothing. He don't care about his past. I thought he cared about." Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's just a hater, man.
But that's not
That's
just a hater. That's mental warfare, spiritual warfare. That's something that people do to try to break you, and you have to be aware of that. You have to be, because if you aren't, you're gonna subject to that. You're gonna be prey to that. I'm gonna hurt from that.
Right.
I'm gonna end up hurting from that. So I have to be knowledgeable and say, hey, I know what you guys are doing. It ain't gonna work. You know what I mean? Like it's just that simple. I regret and don't. So that's my answer.
Yeah, and you know that's a fair answer. You know, I always look at it. You know, when we go through bad things in our lives, you know, it's hard to look back and regret it. You know, you kind of, because it identifies you.
Right.
You know, it builds you. It shows your character. It builds your character. You know, you have to go through that. It's like, what is success without failing?
Right.
There's no such thing. If you don't fail, you don't know what success is. So you have to go through these types of things throughout life to create who you really are as a person. And you wouldn't be sitting here as a human being that you are, sharing all these experiences that you went through, that, yeah, you could look back and say, man, I should have did this differently. I could have done this. Knowing now, looking back, maybe you would have changed a few things. But back then, you weren't supposed to, you know, because I do think, you know, it was God's plan, you know, type of thing to get you to where you are today.
Bro, I wish I could just be me.
Yeah.
I wish I could just say, man, fuck it. This is who I am. I
Do
am
it.
Miguel
You
Garcia.
are. Do it.
But it's so hard.
Look
like,
in that camera right now.
Honestly,
I want you to
it
look right
sounds
now.
so good.
Who are you? Wait, who are you?
I'm whatever
Tell
the
camera.
fuck you want me to be. But it's like, seriously, I'm whatever you want me to be. I'm not going to force you to make yourself think whatever you want. It's just that hard. Like, I don't want to have to force anybody. Like, you want me to tell them who I am me. That's all I can be. I am what I am. I can't sit here and say, I'm purple, I'm green, I'm yellow, I'm good, I'm bad.
Check.
I
Let me help
am
you.
me, bro.
Let me check.
I'm me, bro.
Check. Oh, let me help you. Let me help you. What I want you to be able to do and be confident in what you do is to say, man, what you see is what you get.
That's it.
Because you know what? I'm real. I'm a real dude. I've done some real shit in life. I've learned some real lessons.
But bro, who's gonna take you seriously?
Yeah.
Like, I could sit here and say whatever I want and be like, I'm that guy, I'm him, I'm whatever. But people ain't gonna listen to me. They're gonna look at me like I'm just some bragging weirdo guy. I'm not none of that. I'm nobody. I'm just as human as anybody else. That's all I want to say. Like, this world is so messed up, it takes another person to say that you're valuable in order for you to have value. That's how messed up it is. I can't sit here and say, I've done this, I've done that. I'm so good at what I'm doing. I'm trying to help you. I can't. Literally can't. I can't do that.
You know what you can do, though?
It sounds good. I just can't.
You know what
bro.
you can do? You know what you can do?
Mm.
You can just stay positive, baby.
That's all I can do.
Stay positive.
That's a fact.
That's it, man. And you know what? As long as you stay positive, you don't have to worry about that negative. You know what I mean? Because that's the reality. You know, if you're going to be graced with another day to wake up and open your eyes, stay fucking
Amen.
positive.
Yes, sir.
Don't let other people fucking affect you. And I know it sucks, you know. I'm a victim of that myself. I'll be honest with you. I hate not to be liked. You know, one of my biggest goals in life is when I die, I want to pack the house. I want a line, you know, to pay the respect to say, man, that guy had something. He did something to me in my life to help
That's
me.
what X said.
You know?
Rest in peace, I'll say. That's what X did. X was like, you know what? As long as I can impact a couple lives, and I know that I had 3 million people, like, seriously.
Right.
Like, I want to leave something behind, not just for my family, but for people that really understand that there is something better for you out there. If this interview can help one person, then I know that I can die tomorrow and be good. You know why? Because my family's going to be happy. They're going to be taken care of. I know they're good, and I know that I just did something good in this plane, whatever earth we live in. Like, I'm good.
People are going to be people, man. You know, it's so funny because people will sit there and they'll scroll and they'll look at your shit and they'll watch it because you'll see the views there, but they won't like it. It takes zero effort to click like.
Right, I get millions of impressions, and they'll be...
You know what I'm saying? But they don't want you to know because they don't want to put you on a different level. Jealousy is going to always be out there.
100.
And you know what? Sometimes, unfortunately, it's the closest people that are to you. They're the most jealous ones of you. Whether it's a family member, it's a friend.
I rap about that.
Oh yeah,
I definitely make music about
it's
that.
real. It's a real thing. So you gotta understand, you know, that you can't control others. You can only control yourself. And how you
React to
handle
it.
that.
Yeah.
I learned as I got older. It took me many, many years, and I'm still learning every day. But the reality is, you gotta let some of that shit go, man. Some of that shit that's around you, you just gotta eliminate it. You gotta tell yourself, hey, I'm not going. I choose not to associate and be around those types of people.
Right.
This is it, and it's hard because they're going to show up, especially when your scenario. Because you know what, you do have a music life, you do have a famous life, and you're going to continue. But you know what? As long as you continue to do all the right things and say, this is my purpose, this is why I do what I do, man, you're gonna blow it out of the park, bro. You're gonna blow it out of the park. The shit that happened in the past, the shit that you went through, again, I'm gonna say it one more time. It doesn't define your future. You know, you made a song, Island Boys, right? Talk about that for a second. Big song, right?
Man, yeah,
big problem too with it all.
Facts.
You know, it was hot. You
It's
own the
fun,
song.
though. Yeah, I own the copyright. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
tell a little bit about that. You know,
you know, that's just something that people need to learn about. So, like, as far as it comes to business, like, they didn't secure their copyright federally. Like, back to the beginning of the interview, like, a lot of people don't know their. I ain't gonna give out a free
No paperwork.
game. You guys need to go look that stuff up. But one thing that you need to do is lock in your federal copyright for your sound recording. It's not rocket science. It costs $65. Let's just say at the price of $65, I own a copyright to the performance that is known as the Island Boys by them and the Island Boys by me because I created the song before them.
right?
I actually made my own. I have my own version right before theirs.
And that turned out to be a little bit of a problem. You had friends, you guys created some stuff together, you worked together, and all of a sudden now you guys
It
are
was
enemies.
a fallout, and we were always on Instagram lives, and then I went. I'll be honest, I went negative.
Yeah.
I went into and took it too seriously. I was like, man, there's no way these kids are doing this and not giving me no credit, you know, blocking me out from the lives and kind of diminishing my
There's
name.
that jealousy we're talking about.
Yeah, and it really it's on both sides.
Yeah.
And you know, it's like I'm over here like, damn, they're blocking me from the algorithm. They don't want me to be known. They don't want me to be even like on the foreground of anything. So it defeated me. Like, yo, for the past 2 years, I would say I've been undergoing so much warfare since Aaron died and all of it from being blocked out of algorithms, Aaron passing. I don't feel like I'm worthy of even like going outside. But with this new year, I'll be able to. I'm crossing that boundary to actually step forward. But yeah, I don't have no problems with nobody, bro. Like, yeah, that happened, but it actually made us closer. Like, now we're always on live trolling, having fun, laughing. We don't disrespect each other. We don't disrespect other people. We actually mentor each other on and off the phone both ways. Like, I help them, they help me on the phone. You know, it's not no live stuff.
That's
what
great.
you see on live is cool. Whatever. You get what you get out of that. That's not obviously what people are seeing right now is not who I am on live. I'll be on live talking, hey man, stop playing with me. Loose, crazy. But that's the entertainment people want out of that community. They want drama. They want to see people fighting and getting into it. And that's just what has been created through the algorithm. That's them.
Yeah.
I have to step away from that, though. That's what I'm going to do this new year, is completely step away from that. If I'm going to associate with them, I'm going to make sure that it's for something positive. They do have a platform. They do have something they can do, for example, but they weren't doing it. In my eyes, they weren't doing it the way I would do it. I don't want to say they weren't doing it right,
Sure.
but the way I would have done it.
Right.
And I hope that, you know, they listen, because I'm not here to like say no weird stuff like I own them, because it's not true. I don't own them. They have their own copyright to their name that is Island Boys. But on some funny stuff, if we want to get down to it, because you asked, and they'll probably clown it and bring this up, but yeah, about the copyright to the sound recording, I wanted them to understand what I could bring to the table.
Right.
And it's
You just
not
want to be
to-
respected. Be
Exactly.
respected. Hey, you had a piece of that.
like, bro, I know what I'm doing.
Right.
And I can secure this, and I can help you. I wanted to show them that. And I got their attention.
It's good.
And you know what? I don't care about the money. I don't care about none of that.
You guys are cool today?
We're cool, man. They can
That's
have
good.
that. Like, it's not even about that. You know?
Yeah, well, you know what? We wish everybody success, right?
Amen.
You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with the world is huge, you know,
I
and
don't got
everybody
time
can
to
be
be negative at
successful.
all no
Yeah,
more.
if you're gonna make some good stuff, make it. be proud of it. And a lot goes into those things. You know what I'm saying? You made some awesome music with a lot of different artists. Now you're working on some stuff for yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where we going with the new year and stuff? Let's talk about some of your new stuff. The new year.
I'm excited for this new drop. I got a song with Wale the Sensei and me and Alex. I got a song with a Dominican artist called Dixon Waz. He's really awesome. It's a reggaeton song.
Yeah.
Man, I'm just excited to drop the new sound that I have. I have songs with Aaron, of course. I got a song with Fetty Wap. I'm just trying to drop a whole new... I'm clearing my whole catalog off. So if you like something, go download it right now because you won't see it next year. I'm taking everything down. I may not even have dreads no more.
Starting anew, baby. Starting anew.
Seriously.
Nothing wrong with that,
I'm not
man.
changing. It's still me.
That's right.
But
You're just growing. You're just growing.
That's it.
You're growing. You're growing into what you want to be and who you are. And you are Checkthestar. Man, I really appreciate you being here today. I got one little gift for you, man, and it's just kind of, it has to go with everything we said because Wham Bam started the show, and one of my biggest phrases was, as always, stay positive,
I love
baby.
that.
Stay positive, baby. And of course, on the back, we always say to our viewers, everybody else, and keep testing negative. So that's for you,
that's
baby.
Cool.
Always as a reminder.
No,
man.
that's cool.
Always
bro.
as a reminder.
That's cool.
You got anything last to say to the viewers, man, before we break?
Listen, trials and tribulations are always going to come. It's all about what you do with it and how you overcome them. Don't let nobody define who you are. Don't let nobody tell you who you are, what you can and can't do. It's up to you to make it happen. Like he said, I've been through adversity. So has he, and you can stop it. You can change it. You can make it. You can make yourself go from right to left or straight. No matter what path you want it to be, you choose that. Also, if you have any thoughts of suicide or you have any signs of suicide in your family, friends, or anything like that, there are hotlines out there like 988. You can reach out to 988 and they will find your resources and will help you. I thank you so much for having me on this podcast.
Man, thank you. It was awesome, awesome. And as always, to the viewers, if your life was a movie, would it be worth watching? And if the answer is no, then stop being ordinary and start being extraordinary. Till next Wednesday, this is your boy Wham Bam. And as always, stay positive, baby, and keep testing negative. I'll see you next week, and I'm out.
I'm a positively thinker, Dele.
Hey!